What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geek Collective podcast, where we talk about all things geek and all things nerd, and a little bit of our lives stuff in between. I'm your host, Christian Rivera, and our guest today is my good friend, brother, known him for the longest time. Also, tells it like it is. Dalton Lewis, or should I say Jonathan Dalton Lewis?
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch.
It's Dalton.
Welcome.
I don't go by Jonathan.
So today we're gonna be talking about a couple things with involving video games and tech. First of all, Warzone Mobile. I've been waiting for that. I looked it up today, and it doesn't have a release date yet. But from what you've seen online or heard, what do you think?
Honestly, I haven't heard anything about it online. So is it going to be pretty much the Warzone 2 map, or is it like what?
It's Verdansk. It's the original Verdansk. Only, you know how mobile is a little bit emptier? Like the spaces are a little bit open, and it's missing probably like a couch or something.
Okay, so
you've seen PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, so it's just not going to render in as much as you would on PlayStation or Xbox or PC.
So I saw the demo, a little bit of the demo, and one of the areas they were on was the military hangars, and so there was missing a lot of like the trucks, and or like one of the three planes or something was missing, but that's just to make space because not everything's going to render in. It's mobile.
So I do find it kind of lazy on them to use the original map. Now, is this a Modern Warfare 2 mobile, or is this Modern Warfare mobile?
It's Verdansk. It's original Verdansk, and it's just Warzone mobile.
Well, okay, so
it's Call of Duty Warzone mobile.
Okay, so it is kind of lazy of them to use their old map. But it would be kind of nice to see the old map again because
it's not in its full glory, but it's still.
Yeah, I mean, but we can all say that we miss the old Verdansk.
I miss the old Verdansk.
These new maps that have come out just don't hit the same. You know, this. I didn't play the second map on Warzone because we took a break from it because it was just getting a little out of hand. The second
like small map.
Yeah.
We played original Verdansk. We played Verdansk. What was it? 89 or something like that. It's old Verdansk, the original Verdansk before
like World War.
Before
Ep.2.
Verdansk, the modern Verdansk.
Right. Yeah.
Then there was Rebirth Island.
That one was good.
Which was Alcatraz.
See,
then after that, it was Pacific, something like that. Pacific something, because that was from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah, but I feel like after Verdansk, everything kind of
went downhill
into run and gun, not the let's loot here, let's travel far ways. It was more kind of like Alcatraz.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the map, but Alcatraz Rebirth. There you go, Rebirth, where you just landed and then you started fighting. There was no. All right, let's have a calm landing. Let's get our supplies, let's get our loot, and all that. And exactly,
Warzone 2 is exactly that.
I will say Warzone 2, it's all right. I mean,
it's all right. It's shrunk. I told you last time we played, the buildings feel shrunk. Like some of the buildings shrunk. A lot of fire station. I feel like it's exactly the same. Maybe the same layout as the original fire stations, but it's shrunk. You could fit 2 vehicles in there.
Yeah, I could see that, but
now the fire station in Verdansk 2.0 is just Warzone 2.0 is you can barely fit an ATV.
I feel that, but I mean, in reality, I feel like it's the map that's gotten smaller and more condensed. Like, there's a lot more cities in the newer Modern Warfare 2 map. What is this one called? Al-Mazrah?
Al-Mazrah or Al-Mazrah. somewhere in
But
that drawer over there.
with these newer maps, it's getting more congested in these cities. There's a lot more buildings, so in Verdansk it was kind of like little small communities, like little houses, and then it was kind of sporadic like that. Well, Al Mazrah and these newer maps, there's like
A lot
larger
of
communities
CQE.
where exactly we got CQB, which has brought a rise to more camping.
More camping in corners, and you don't hear a lot of people.
Right, and we we played the other night, and we remember that full team just sitting in this small
Oh
room.
yeah, and like we were third, right?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
third
we were
place,
third place.
but and
As soon as we start running out, they're just right around the corner.
yeah, I do. So
To
circling back to the mobile, I do find it being kind of fun. You can travel and still play your Warzone. It's definitely going to be easier compared to your regular gameplay. It's not going to be as sweaty, but I mean,
how many
it's
wins?
still
How many
mechanic-wise
wins?
bad.
How many wins did you do you think you had in original Warzone?
But mobile?
No, just original Warzone.
Oh, original Warzone. I couldn't tell you, buddy. In
'Cause
20, 30,
mobile.
I don't know.
I've
It's
played
been
a lot
out
of
for a while.
mobile. I've played Call of Duty Mobile. I've played PUBG Mobile, and I've played, I think, Fortnite Mobile
Yeah, I've played Fortnite
before they took it off. And it's easy to get kills.
I don't.
It's easy to win. It's easy on mobile.
So I don't know if that's due to maybe younger population playing that,
There are some hardcore mobile gamers.
but I just don't know if those are the people you're playing with.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I just when we were playing these mobile games, yes, there's not a single one that I lost. So that's where I'm at, where I don't know if I'm playing against actual players or if I'm playing against bots. You can stand still and kill somebody.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense to me.
That's why I'm like,
I feel
Warzone's
like
gonna be fun for like, I'm at work, and you're all the way in Arizona, so we'll be able to play at work. It's like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links when it's like Warzone. Let's go.
so. I mean, of course, I'm not a big mobile gamer. It's not a big thing for me, but I mean, pulling your phone out, loading up into a map, doing a whole.
It also takes a lot of battery.
It takes a lot of battery. It takes a lot and a lot of your time. So I just don't. To me, mobile gaming is not the way to go. I mean, maybe if you're on a long road trip, then yes, I could see that. But I just don't see the fun in it. If, like, yes, none of us like to play against sweaty players, but you would at least want a little competition. It's not fun when you can stand still, shoot somebody, and they've shot you once. Like,
And you're broken.
well, no, it's not even that they're hurting you. It's the fact that you shoot at them, you stand still for like 30 seconds shooting at them, and they can only hit you once. I'm standing still. You're moving. How are you that bad? So that's where I just don't understand whether it's a bot or if it's an actual player, because we're not big mobile gamers.
Yeah.
There's no way that the national average plays like that.
Do you play on controller on mobile, or do you play on
No,
fingers on
I
the
play
screen?
I play with my fingers on the screen, so that's where I'm like I don't understand how,
I've tried
not to
playing
toot
on
my own
screen.
horn, that I could be that good, because it's like it's hard to move with your fingers on the
I
screen
think
and shoot at the same
last
time.
time I played Call of Duty Mobile and had that Battle Royale, which is a completely different from Warzone. I think I ended up with like 16 kills.
Yeah, I mean,
It was easy.
so I just, maybe it's the play, maybe it's fun to play the old Verdansk map, but the real thing we need to talk about is the new Warzone,
The Warzone, but everybody,
Warzone 2.0.
I like it, and again, I like it and I don't like it. A lot of buildings are too small, are shrunk down. I like the different areas. Um, there's a difference between Warzone One where like you almost had different. No, on this one is actually Warzone 2.0 has different like biomes. If you think about it, there's the swamp biome.
I
There's
guess
like the
in a
overflowed
way, yeah.
area, which is like kind of swamped. There's deserty style area. Uh, not much jungle, but there's like a certain area where there's a lot of palm trees. I think it's like where the fuel depot is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different styles and cover and all that stuff. Um, care packages. I haven't seen a lot of people buying care packages.
Well,
It's hard to get that amount of money.
no, that is where I think that they lost me. Personally, to me, if you would have left loadouts out of the game, it would have been fucking perfect. I mean, it's loadouts to me is
I think that I mean
when you have meta builds, it's not really fair to somebody who picked up a gun off the ground, And I understand life's not fair, but I mean, it was more fun before they added the ability to buy your loadout because that's every the other night when we were doing safecracker missions, the reason everybody does that is so you get a lot of money to go buy your loadout.
yeah, and we were trying to do safecrackers, and we always ran into somebody, another team, trying to do a safecracker.
Oh, there's like six teams landing on the actual mission, and they're like, "What's going on here? Why is everybody landing on this
And so
safecracker
you
mission?"
can get the money.
But I feel like loadouts should have stayed out of Call of Duty altogether.
I think the loadout should have stayed. I think the loadout thing is fine. Not buying it, they should have kept it out of the buy station. But the way it lands,
I can get behind
because
that.
then everybody who's anybody is gonna try to go to the loadout that just dropped.
Yeah.
So it's a high risk, low reward, or high reward if depending on if you make it or not.
Yeah, so I can see that. That makes it a little bit more fair versus somebody who just landed, did a bunch of missions, got the money, and then bought their loadouts. And now you're trying to battle them with their
Four
their
weapons.
meta guns that are somehow broken. I
Which
mean,
apparently we can't. The devs can't fix.
and I cannot lie. I use the meta guns. But that's all you can do to keep up. And that's where Call of Duty is nowadays.
It's not even
what can I
fun.
do?
It's not even fun metaguns.
Yeah, it's just what can I do to keep up with what everybody else is using. That is all Call of Duty is now. So you can't even use the guns that are enjoyable to you because you'll get outgunned 9 times out of 10. So you have to use the meta guns to even compete. I mean, it's to me that's not fun. I mean, so the main thing for Warzone 2.0 was the main selling point was proximity chat. That is the only thing that I think that has made Warzone 2.0 actually worth it. Other than that, it's just regular Warzone. It's just back to the old days. There are some techniques
We've
and
been
glitches,
winning.
but
It is slightly easier to win, though. I remember back then it was harder to crack armors.
well,
It was hard to break armor. Now it's easier to break armor, but at the same time, you're able to carry more armor than you used to. Because you used to carry 3 on you and then 3 in reserves. I think.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yep.
Now you can carry as many armors as you want. 10, 20, whatever. So you're over here sniping at somebody, breaking armor nonstop. You're like, when are they going down?
And
Same with self revives.
I think that I do like that.
It's fun because if you're streaming, if you're making content, it's like stop,
Well,
please
and
go down.
I like it in the fact that, for me, I like to carry more ammo on me because if I'm using an AR and shooting a lot of people and not,
If you're primarily just using
yeah.
one weapon,
So when it gets to end circle, you're, oh crap, I don't have any ammo or I don't have any armor. So it's really good to store those things in your backpack. I think that's a good feature.
the backpack feature is great. I love it.
I like that, how you can pick up more
Clunky
equipment
still though.
and all of that,
It could have been easier to get into the backpack.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is on console. I mean, I'll probably hook up my controller sometime soon and try using a controller.
I don't.
And
I wouldn't advise that.
just for fun. Just for fun.
Um,
But yeah, the backpack is a little clunky. Some of the features that they said, because I before Warzone came out and released, I sat down and watched I think it was like a 2-hour stream of the release of Call of Duty Next, and they said that they fixed a lot of bugs. They implemented better things. They fucked up on a couple things. The pinging system.
yes,
That sucks.
the pinging system is.
Warzone 1 was better.
You
at
need to
pinging.
go back. There was no reason to change the pinging system. They just made it extremely difficult to see your teammates' pings. Half the time when y'all ping something for me, I'm like, I'm literally doing circles looking for your ping. I don't.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't show up.
Yeah.
There's sometimes they don't show up on, because you used to ping out of the map somewhere in the distance. You open your map and you can see it. If you ping it out of the map and you open your map, you don't see it at all on the map. So you're kind of like, where are we going? I just follow whoever's
Right.
saying that over here.
Right. So,
And
speaking of the armor situation, with snipers, back in Warzone 1, it used to be you get a headshot on somebody,
headshot
it's
with
a
a
down.
high caliber. Depending on the sniper, if it was a high caliber, you could
Yes.
take somebody out.
But now a high cal sniper headshot breaks armor. There is a little exploit to that that a lot of people have found. And this is where we get into Warzone glitches and bugs that need to be fixed. But this one's like, I would consider an exploit.
Can't you
So
Can't you get from the buy station like armor piercing ammunition?
you can, but that's not.
I haven't even tried. That's not a
Yeah.
bad idea to try
Well, here's the
if
thing.
you have that opportunity.
So the other night when I shot that dude in the head and broke his armor, if you were to throw a flash grenade and it goes off near them, they get downed.
How does that work?
Because you have got them down to pretty much to where their one shot is what happens. So then the flash takes them out. I've seen a lot of
the concussion of because I've been hit by the grenades before. That takes a little bit of damage, but the concussion of a grenade going off.
I don't understand it either, buddy. I've just seen a lot of TikTokers
of a non-lethal grenade.
Yes, I've seen a lot of TikTokers. That is the strat. You shoot them in the head with a sniper. You get a 3-plate break, throw a flash grenade, boom, downed. So the radius of that is a lot bigger.
Seen that. I haven't even seen it online or anywhere.
I'll send you some. I mean, it is actually kind of broken in my opinion because of the radius of a flash grenade is just too much. But
yeah.
Warzone, it has its pros, it has its cons. I think it is fun.
Better. It's fun. It's better. To me, it's a lot easier because we are getting a lot of more dubs and wins.
Well,
every other day.
I'm gonna chop that up on us being better. I mean, let's be honest. When we first started battle royales, we were lucky to get a kill, homie. So I
Yeah,
just want to say that we have gotten better, and we have actually been able to keep up.
I really wish we could go back into the original Warzone with the skills we have now.
Yes. So I mean, well,
We're
it's
not
been
good.
this
We're
day.
not bad. We're intermediate pros.
Well, even when we were playing Fortnite and PUBG, think about it. When we started Fortnite, we were lucky to get one kill, and then we started playing with Jess and our friends, not too long ago, and we were getting dubs left and right, like it was easy.
In Fortnite.
Yeah. So come on. I mean, I want
The
to
one
chalk that
that's
up by
not
our
as easy
skills.
is the only battle royale that's still difficult is Apex.
Yeah.
That's another story.
That one's kind of skill based, and that one's infuriating.
That's infuriating.
But
Oh,
but
Yeah.
we the the saving grace for Warzone is its proximity chat, and
Oh, yeah, I
I
love the
will
proximity
forever
chat.
love that.
at the beginning it was fun, because a lot of people were talking and a lot of people were communicating and everything, especially when they had Unhinged. Unhinged, you could get more than 4 players in your squad.
Right, you can just pick
I
up
never,
players.
never was able to use it because didn't want to play by myself because it was a unhinged trios, and we lost the opportunity to do that to play unhinged trios. But I'm losing my train of thought.
But I mean, just it's crazy to think
Yeah.
about how technology is changing.
Yeah, it's fun because it brings back the original shit talking that we used to have in the original Call of Duties. It brought back a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So, speaking of new
And-
technology,
Yeah,
so
that's
have you-
that's the next topic.
have you seen these new? I want to say they're like
Feet?
VR glasses.
VR glasses. They're by Google. They're not Google. Microsoft, I think.
I believe so. So that to me blows my mind. I mean, yes, we had the Oculus. That's cool, is to have the VR, but to have pretty much a monitor the size
can
of
sit-
your glasses. And
Yeah, and you can still see through. You can still see the real world through.
exactly. So, but I've seen like TikToks of like truckers. He's got his computer hooked up to him. He's playing Apex in his driver's seat.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
I mean, to me, that blows my mind. That is amazing. I mean, to even be, I could be
I'm
laying
amazed that
in
it
bed.
played Apex.
I could be laying in bed
Just
and next to Jess while she's
Looking-
watching TV and be playing video games. That's
there.
blows my
okay,
mind.
so that actually reminds me. There was a TV, and it came out years ago, where it was a 3D style TV. You know that one?
yes.
It used to be a 3D style TV, but you had to have like your specific 2 glasses, glasses 1 and glasses 2. And so it overlaid the images on the TV. So glasses 1 could be watching monitor 1, glasses 2 could be watching monitor 2 on the same TV.
See, but and it didn't really take off. It is really cool technology, but it did not take off, and I feel like that's where sometimes technology is a little ahead of its time. I mean, if we look in the past, PSP. If you really look at a PSP today, it is cool in my opinion.
Hell, I bring it to work.
When
I still play it.
yeah, so when I bought a PSP back in the day, I thought this was the coolest thing ever, but it fell off. Nobody really took it up. I think that's where we get is technology gets a little too ahead of its time, and the possibilities of it are
Just-
cool, but the practicality behind
It's
it
not there
is
yet.
not being used. So that
Yeah.
so
the
that,
PSP, if they bring back they could bring back the PSP, revamped everything. PSP, it can hook up to your PlayStation 3 wirelessly. As in,
so
it's like playing.
like a Wii U.
No, not like a Wii U. It's like if you leave your console, I forget what it's called. If you leave your console on, it's like Xbox Game Pass. You're able to play it
Oh yeah, yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
or something like that. And their PlayStation has something like that.
I've heard of that. But you know,
And it'd be like the same thing. You have your console. If it's downloaded console games, then you can access all your console games. If you leave the console on, and you let's say you go to work, and you got the PSP, the new PSP, you can play it.
yeah.
That'd be great. I would get a PlayStation for that.
Now, so you know, we have gaming systems like Nintendo Switch. That's a cool one. To me, I don't use it. I mean, I don't use it as much as I should. I just don't think the games on it are as cool. But
Yeah.
speaking on that type of platform typed
Handheld consoles.
handheld consoles, the Steam Deck. You know, my roommate right now has one, and he said it's the best investment he's ever made.
It's the best invest. I've seen it, and I think it's cool. It's a great idea. It's literally what like I said, the PSP. If
Yeah.
the PSP was remade right now, to where it hooks up wirelessly to your account, because you can have the PSP and you can sign into your Steam account, the Steam Deck, and you sign into your Steam account and play certain games on the Steam, but you can't play Call of Duty, and that's the thing. If you were able to play,
Have you done your research on that?
you can, but you have to like download and so a lot of and program and all that stuff. It's basically like jailbreaking, and I was never a fan of jailbreaking.
Well, you know, based on what he was telling me, it was like pretty much any game that he had on his computer, he could play on there. You could play Dark Souls, you could play Elden Ring, you could
I
play
think you
any
can't
of those
play, like,
games.
big AAA. Like
Yeah.
you can't play. I looked it up. I made sure because if I was able to play Call of Duty on Steam, I wasn't gonna get it. And they say that you can't play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2.
Well, that's probably because the thing takes 200 gigabytes to download. That's the whole Steam Deck. But I mean, I haven't done that much research. I mean, I'm sure you're right. But the possibilities are there, and it's kind of like the Oculus. When I told you that we weren't able to hook it up to our computer, and then a couple months later they made it available to computer, and now you can hook it up. You can play all these VR games that you wanted to play, but you didn't want to pay the $600 for the HTC Vive.
Yeah, and the Oculus you can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I have, which once we do that trip and get everything over to the new place,
Oh yeah.
we got to start playing VR
Oh
games.
yeah. I'm setting it up.
VR games now playing full VR games is going to be more fun because it was limited. Oculus Quest is like the mobile version of video games.
Yeah.
So you got full dive Call of Duty, but then you got mobile. Mobile Call of Duty, which is like watered down. Oculus Quest is like the watered down version of full on VR. So you're limited on what you can play and what you can see and all that stuff.
Right. And I just think that the way technology is going in the next 5 years.
The gaming technology is advancing a lot faster than when we first started gaming. Now it's like taking off and taking over everything.
Well, I'll look at this, you know, in the next 5 years, how much further can we get? You know, at a certain point, it's
like,
kind of like a SAO
you're
full
gonna-
dive into the video game. I mean, that's what we're all waiting for.
But except the dying part.
No, I'm ready for that too, buddy.
No, I don't need that. I don't need that.
I'm ready to fucking put my life on the line. Don't have any more responsibilities. I'm stuck in the game.
Oh no!
You give me that scenario, I'll pay for it.
I'm late for work. I can't go to work. I'm stuck in the
But
VR headset.
if you really think about it, most of those guys did not actually fight any bosses. They just lived their life in
afraid.
in a scenario game, in an RPG. I mean,
They were playing Sims.
They're like, come on, you cannot tell me you would not pay for that kind of scenario in your life. I would, 100%. I'd drop big money on it.
Uh,
I'd sell my house for it.
no, no. You need a house to play in.
No,
Where would you live?
I'll live. I have you not seen Ready Player One? He was living in a. He had his setup in a van, homie. And that's
Okay.
where we really want to be.
Travel
Is Ready
gaming
Player
van.
One. We want to be in Ready Player One. I mean, yes, it would
Oh
be
yeah,
cool. It'd
Ready
be a
Player
full
One.
dive, but that's. I feel like Ready Player One, the movie,
Yeah.
was an actual representation of where we will get
Eventually.
eventually.
I love the fact that you could just be any character you wanted.
Yeah, that was. It
Just
was
sign in. It's like Matt, you just loaded up as a Master Chief. I'm over here dressed up as a. No, I'll be probably Master Chief. You probably be Doom guy.
Doom guy.
I see you,
Rip
Doom
and tear.
guy.
Rip and tear till it's done. But technology is getting crazy. I mean, even as we look at vehicles nowadays.
Yeah, vehicles. I haven't looked too much into the vehicles, but I haven't not yet seen a competitor to Tesla. Besides, the
I got the competitor
mix,
for it.
the mix, like the hybrids,
I
and also besides the whole the electric Jeep and the electric Chevy or the Ford?
it's a Ford.
Is it Ford?
Ford Lightning.
Ford Lightning.
But Chevy is coming out with an EV eventually, but it
You
kind of
must be
looks like
so mad about that.
It looks like what are those? Not the Tahoes, but the Avalanches.
Okay.
It's supposed to be an electric version of the
Avalanche.
but there is a. I wouldn't call them really a competitor because they are more high end vehicles, but they don't look high end. And it's funny enough that I actually work on this plant. It's the Lucid Motors.
Yeah.
So the previous, or the owner of Lucid Owners actually worked under Elon Musk for Tesla.
Yeah, 'cause
And
I heard that a lot of people that worked for Elon Musk and Tesla, they just dropped out or got fired or something.
yeah,
like
they took the technology and then they went to go do their own thing.
that.
And I mean, we're all human beings. We're all greedy. I mean, it makes sense. But he. What I don't understand is I'm looking at these vehicles and you can find them online. It's Lucid Motors. The Lucid Air, I believe, is the model. So
Yeah.
their base model is
What do they look?
$100,000.
I haven't even looked at them. What do they look
They
like?
don't look anything special. They look like a regular sedan, but $100,000 for a regular sedan. I will say this: Tesla is an affordable electric option
It's
that
more.
looks
It's
luxurious.
a lot more affordable than I thought, because I did look into Teslas and I'm like, that's a lot cheaper than I expected. Still expensive, but I've heard that they're like paper.
Yes,
They're just paper.
the quality control from a Tesla is absolute shite. I mean, it's the gaps between quarter panels and everything. They're
Yeah.
the trunk. It'll be a quarter inch on one side or
Yeah,
and
I've
3/8 on
I've
the
seen
other.
a lot of that.
They-
People complain about
They
that.
crunch when you push on the dash.
But it's because it's plastic.
Well, yes,
Everything
but-
is made plastic
But if you're paying that kind of price, you would expect it to
to
be
be safer.
not it's safer, just the quality to be.
I'll look later after the podcast. I'm gonna look up the crash tests. I have not seen crash tests.
I
Of
haven't
Tesla.
either. But the Lucid Motors, they want $100,000 for a car that looks like a regular sedan. I don't see, unless there's some extreme performance changes, I don't see the price tag in it, and it's strictly going to be a luxury vehicle versus a sports.
And that's the thing. You got the electric vehicles. A lot. Jeep came out with the electric vehicle. Ford came out with electric vehicles. We got Tesla. We got Lucid Motors. at what point there's going to be more demand for the new than the old, and then the new is going to be the new normal. So how with the economy and all that stuff, and that's getting into more money and economy and
Well,
all that stuff. My question is, at what point will we be at the point where everything is electric now?
well, I just don't
The
see.
future.
I don't see that happening. Honestly, I understand fossil fuels are coming to an end. It,
Yeah,
it,
I remember when we were younger. I don't know if it was before even I knew you or anything. Like seeing future movies and TV shows of electric car, like not too far future, with like flying cars and all that stuff, but electric cars.
right.
Like mid future, mid modern century kind of technology. So basically, where we are now, only a little bit less.
But so the reason I don't think that we're going to be able to go there is one, we don't have enough uh, electrical facilities to even house.
Oh no!
Uh,
Now and they charge, not charging the battery, but charge as in money to charge your vehicle. I've
right,
been seeing people like trying to get somewhere and they're low on battery, and there's some people that they put in those charging stations, like gas stations. They can order in and install charging stations, but they charge you to charge like regular gas.
right.
But sometimes it's like it's um it's like a regular. Some people treat it like it's a regular outlet.
Well, and it
'Cause
is
I can
cheaper.
go anywhere, plug in my phone when it's dying. Nobody complains about me charging my phone.
So it is cheaper to charge it at one of those stations, but at what cost? So like, if you're driving into a gas station, I've seen a line of Teslas before. It takes 20 to 30 minutes to charge a Tesla. So how?
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but you're sitting outside of a gas station for the next 20 30 minutes, and you're waiting in line for a spot for the next person to say, "All right, I'm fully charged. I'm ready to go." And so
I haven't seen like charging stations packed.
I've seen it once, and that's I just see if there was
Is
an
that in
influx.
Arizona?
No, it was here in Texas. I just don't see that we would be able to support that. I mean, Texas alone, when we had the bad freeze, people were losing power. There was rolling blackouts because our electric could not keep up. So we wouldn't even be set up for that. I mean, we had people dying, freezing to death,
Yeah,
uh, because they couldn't keep the power on. How are we going to supply enough power to
the
charge
new Ford
every
can.
single person's vehicle?
The new Ford can supposedly charge, power a house.
Yeah, it can power a house,
But
but
then
for
you don't have a
how
vehicle
long?
once. Yeah, then you
Yeah,
for how long? The vehicle battery dies, and then you're like, well, now I don't have power, and I don't have a vehicle.
right. Whereas I could go get a gas generator and I can supply enough power that I need uh, to survive. And even now, and you see these electrical vehicles pushing for a lot of off-roading. So the Rivian, you have an off-roading truck. It's set up for camping. It self-levels itself for a little camping spot, but it's an electric vehicle. Where are you going to find electricity out in the wilderness?
The EX4. I think it's called the Jeep. The electric Jeep is EX4 because it's supposed to be 4x4, but because it's electric, I think it's called EX4.
Right.
That's an off-road. It looks like a regular Jeep Wrangler or Rubicon.
Well,
Rubicon? Yeah.
yeah.
And you're going off-roading on an electric vehicle. How are you gonna charge it?
Right. I mean, so I've seen that
Solar.
there are some companies that come out and do an emergency charge. but they're using a generator, a gas generator or a diesel generator.
Yeah.
So that defeats the whole purpose. I just don't see how electric and off-roading go hand in
Go
hand.
hand in hand. Yeah.
I mean, it, even with road trips. So when you put it in a Tesla, you put in the direct where you're going, and it actually pulls up a map, and it says you have to stop here and charge, and then you have to stop here and charge. So it gives you a roadmap of where you have to go, versus a straight shot. I can just find any gas station that I need. Um,
It's gonna suck eventually at one point. I hope I'm not in the living when it happens, because that's gonna be hell. But when it happens, I don't know what's gonna happen
honestly, man,
with fossil fuel. Like, yeah,
it's not.
electric vehicles might be thriving. You can drive around in electric vehicles, but we got no gas to go around.
Well, and not only that, no gas to. So they don't have
Certain
semis.
homes.
They don't have electric semis.
Yet
So
Tesla,
if you run out of diesel,
Elon Musk has an electric truck.
okay, but then you have every other diesel that does not have gas. What's going to happen to our economy? You can't ship. You cannot ship anything. You can't get groceries. You can't get water. You can't get any products. The cost of products are going to shoot up dramatically.
The
I think
what are we called? The mid class,
the middle class will be
the middle class are just going to become the poor. The level above middle class, which is a little bit richer, they're going to become middle classes.
no, they'll never become middle class. I can tell you that. But I will say that the middle class is working its way
Towards
to
like it's
to
hard
poverty.
to live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is our generation. At that point, we're just explaining our generation.
Yep.
Because our parents, they're fine. They already gone through all shit that we're going through now. We just hope that something falls in our lap that helps us out.
And I'll be honest with you, buddy. That's why I prepare. You know, I prepare for these things, and I've been really focusing on being self-sufficient for at least a year, for the sole purpose for when this happens. I'm
broke.
not running around like a chicken with my head cut off, because that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be
I remember
mass
when you
hysteria.
lived by yourself in your first apartment.
Yeah,
That was great.
that was fun.
A pain.
times.
Balcony almost broke, fell apart, was falling apart. Literally
Yeah.
disconnecting from the building. Another thing. Our next topic that I wanted to talk about. What's our future goals? And what we're focusing on. Like you got your shit all figured out. More or less.
That's a lie.
More or less.
No, it's. I mean, not really.
You're preparing for the bomb that's about to go off in what? 4-5 months?
Yeah. But that's the thing. I'm preparing. I
He's
don't.
having
I
a
don't even
baby.
have a nursery set up.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. No, not next weekend, but
I'm not doing that next weekend. But that's why I had to get a place, and now I'm going to be living by myself in Arizona, paying rent. To just
how far are you from the airport?
from the airport, about 30, 40 minutes.
30, 40 minutes. It's almost an hour. Okay, it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's really not a bad drive at all. It's literally a straight line. You just drive straight and then you're at the airport.
Listen, I'm gonna put in for a transfer to Arizona.
That's bold.
That's very bold.
That's bold. All right. I'm down for it. I mean, if you want to live in Arizona, the gas is like, I mean, you might want to stay out of Phoenix because gas over there is about $5 a
I
gallon.
don't know how I would get my car over there. I doubt it would make it unless I
I
fucking
plan on
ship
I
it.
plan on getting a trailer, so maybe we can, tow it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very
It,
bold of you to say that you're going to transfer to Arizona, but
I wonder how long it takes
I will
for to be able to transfer back somewhere else.
I will say that leaving Texas has really kind of opened my eyes to.
Like I said, when you first started, when you first moved out, or we're talking about moving to Arizona and or like having to travel to Arizona and all that stuff. It's a fresh restart. I keep telling you, it's a fresh restart because by the time that you figure out how to be a dad and everything in Arizona and you come back, the kid might most likely won't be having any like close relationship with other kids, like have close friends and best friends and all that stuff. So when the kid comes back and flies over here and starts living here, you can now look forward to your kid having best friends and all
Well,
that stuff and living in Texas.
see, and that's the worry though, because I don't. I've been told that there's no more work in Texas for the company I work for. So, and that's for good. That is never. They were never going to have work in Texas ever. So that's where I'm in this boat of, okay, so at some point I have to leave this company. So I am trying to continue to have the superintendent job and get the experience for 3 to 5 years, and then hopefully try to find something in Texas for a different company.
That has
But
a
I was,
superintendent job.
but I was really hoping to stay at this company till the day I retire. That's kind of where I was at. That's where my mind was at when I first started this company, and
Then it's just started. A lot of shit changed, and
I have a
you
whole
weren't expecting.
I have a whole rant on why that changed, but that's nobody would understand it except for me. Fucking pipe fitters.
You complained so much about pipe fitters. I remember when you started complaining
They're
about
weenies.
it here.
They're your little
Here.
weenies.
I think that you were complaining it when you were working on the. No, you were in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Dallas. I was gonna say the
that's the-
stadium, the ballpark, but no, it was Dallas. You
No,
were working on Dallas.
In Dallas, when that's the reason we lost Texas altogether was them. That job was the main job that said that's what cut the ties to Texas. They lost us so much money. They went 25 million in the hole.
Shit.
But sheet metal, we came out top. We made them money. But since they got a bad taste on all the workers over
What-
there, they said no more. I'm like,
So
well,
what
fuck.
are so your plans for 2023 in the future?
My-
We already know that's working on the taking care of the child
yeah,
and moving into the new house.
want to get more guns. Wanted to start posting more pictures of my guns and all that stuff like that.
Wow. You want more pictures of your guns, but not your child?
Well, there will definitely be pictures of my child. I mean, the with the guns,
With the guns. Oh no, that bad parenting or good parenting?
I guarantee you right now, I'm already looking at a gun to buy on the day that she is born,
Oh God.
and that would be her first gun. It's already set in motion, buddy. And guess what? It's a lever action. It's another
Oh
one.
my God, how many? How many? Count them. How many?
Right now, I have 5 lever actions.
6, counting the one that you're getting.
6.
What are your future plans with, like, let's not say, child and living over there, but just fun stuff.
My fun stuff is just like I said, buying more guns. That's what I
Didn't
want.
you
I
say
want to
you-
buy more guns. I want to shoot more guns. I want to.
Side by side.
I did.
Do you,
Yes, I do want to get a side by side.
but so you're gonna be moving over there, and you're gonna be there for a couple years. You're basically just gonna live there.
Yeah.
You're gonna be renting, but living there, or you're gonna buy.
Yes. No, we're renting. So due to credit and life, I can't buy for the next 3 to 5 without putting 50% down on a house, and I don't feel like cleaning out everything I have to put down on a house. It's just not in the cards. I mean, but and it's also why would I want to buy in a place I'm not going to stay? If I'm only going to be there for 5 years, why would I buy a house? 'Cause you can't pay off a house in 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean, so
unless you make bank.
it would have to be an investment property and then rent it, and then I'm renting in another state. It's it'd be too much. So we've decided that we're just gonna rent, and it is what it is. It's not optimal. It's not what I
I'm
wanted
not.
because I wanted to make my own
I'm
changes. But
interested in the
it
comment
is.
that I made earlier, so we'll talk about that off camera though.
What? I don't even know what
The
comment.
transfer.
I, buddy,
I-
like I said, I am all for it. I'll never tell you no.
How many rooms you got?
You ain't living with me, homie.
Damn it. That's the I can't rent.
You
I already
ain't
told
living
you I
with me.
can't rent.
I mean, I know a guy, but he's charging about as much as you were here. And I don't
You
know
sh-
if y'all get along. But
you don't want me anymore.
I'm just saying. I'm
you
just
don't want me
saying.
anymore.
If you decide to transfer, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, it's a transfer. It's not. All right, I'm moving away from Texas and never coming back.
Yeah.
It is. It is kind of a jump, though.
It is a very drastic jump.
Very, very, very big. So, but I've been talking about my goals. What are your goals for this year?
Not be broke.
That's a broad statement. What
It's
are you
a
doing
broad
to not be broke?
Working hard, working extra hours, trying not to get hurt. Cause fucking, I got hurt earlier this week, and it's difficult. But
Little baby couldn't handle my deagle.
could
That's what y'all
it
need
bit
to
me?
know.
Your deagle bit me.
It did not bite
now
you.
my
It,
finger's
it
swollen.
scratched you. I guarantee you. If it bit you, you would not have that finger anymore. That 50 cal would have taken it straight off.
It's being rude.
You didn't know how to nurture her.
Oh, okay. Uh,
But
my
but-
future goal. I mean, my future goals like last podcast. It's work on getting out of debt, but also not working my fucking life away because I'm not that kind of person that works extra hours to get by to pay bills and not have fun, enjoy. Because I'm a person that likes to enjoy life and try to enjoy every minute of it. So I try to work a little bit of extra hours. But I want to create content. I want to try to become a YouTuber, or at least medium to large YouTuber or Twitch streamer, whichever it is. I hope that this podcast gets better. I think we're doing a lot better podcast than last time.
I will say
Less
I will say that
less pauses.
it's not about quality. It's called repetitivity.
Repetitive. I don't even know that's a word.
I don't know if it is a word.
Repetitivity.
Repetitive is a word, and I just put
Repetitivity.
"itty" on the back of it. But it's about posting. It's about.
You got to.
I mean, I showed y'all that channel that it had horrendous
the
quality,
The song.
but they had almost 3,000 followers up until they stopped posting. It's the possibility is there as long as you just keep going, even if it's a couple years. I mean, we know streamers.
No, yeah. But
Cleric.
also, the thing is,
I forget his full name. Cleric something.
the content is not.
Cleric Cast. He posts every day. Of course he doesn't have thousands of viewers every day, but he has at least 30 almost every time I join his stream. And that
Creating
adds up.
content is not easy. That's for sure. I think 2019 is when I started the YouTube channel. I've started YouTube channels long time ago from before that, but
I'm
like
about to say
officially
that's
before
try about 2012.
2012. But officially, like my YouTube channel that I use currently and have posted a lot more than those other ones. I think it was 2019, and it's not easy. But again, this goes back to the podcast that I said. Let's say I want to vlog at a comic convention. It's very difficult, not just in general, but like for me because one, I have ADD and easily distracted, and having to focus on the vlog and everything and experience the convention, wanting to experience the convention is very difficult. So, and knowing what to record, how much content, and what to bring because it's exhausting. I've got to bring a lot of equipment to make the videos and everything. It's not easy, and you have to once you come back home. You have to find all the edit, find music, and go through hours of videos.
Well, hey, I
And
mean,
that's for
if
one
it's that
day. And
easy,
that takes let's say about a week to create.
right?
And then you have to let's say if you want to do weekly content, that's 1 week. Next week, what are we doing? What am I gonna do?
well, if it were easy, everybody'd be doing it.
Exactly. And I have certain video ideas to make, but some videos are money doesn't grow on trees, and I know some content you don't need much money to, but pretty much you need money to do almost anything now.
That is true.
So that's why it's taking me a little bit of time because dealing with between life and creating the content that I want to create is difficult. But I do want to create content. Podcast episode 2. I'm happy that we're doing this now for episode 2. How many episodes do you think I'm going to be making before this crashes?
Well, buddy, as long as me and our other co-hosts and guests keep on you, I feel like we could keep this going for at least a year.
Hey,
Um,
one season.
I
Um,
mean, ideally, that's where we're at. I mean, I think
I
that
want to be more
posting.
comfortable. I want to make the podcast to be a little bit more comfortable, and like more natural. When it comes to like, for example, you're gonna be going to Arizona,
Right.
so we're not gonna be stuck to the hips like we always been throughout the years, since uh, ever since we met. And it's cool because then you got your own life, I got my own life. We experience our own lives together, and when we get together, create our content, and talk about our lives on the podcast.
Right. And while I'm in Arizona, I fully plan on having upgrading my mic and doing a setup and all that to do the podcast remotely.
Noise.
So
I do want
we'll
to.
have to figure that out. But
Yeah, I gotta figure that. Well, in time we'll do that. Um, do you think you're gonna be doing streaming or doing anything like that once you get comfortable? I think
maybe
once you get comfortable.
maybe when I get comfortable, because here recently I've been traveling back and forth. It's not ideal. I can't with my gaming laptop setup that I have back in Arizona.
No,
It
but
wasn't work, but
now when you get your equipment over there, I feel like every night, like I'm trying to do every night, and so far I think I've only done 2 nights that I haven't streamed recently. So, but I've been streaming. I've been trying to stream every night.
yeah.
So
I mean, yes, I definitely plan on streaming
just
more.
cut and there's times where I just want to. I just hit stream
Just cause.
just to have the content, because there's so many times where I'm not streaming. Perfect content, beautiful content.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. You know.
I got 2 wins, not myself. Me, Carter, and Kevin. We got 2 wins in one night. That was perfect content, and I wasn't streaming. We were just playing for fun.
Well, and I feel like, and I don't mean to say anything bad about you. I feel like once we get behind the mic and you realize that you are live, sometimes I feel like you try to overthink things and could. It's
I
not as
tried just to hit record, and that's it.
yeah.
And
Well, I'm just
enjoy
saying
the.
sometimes you're not as natural, and I feel like we all do that. As
Right
soon
now,
as,
we're not. There's a little bit of natural and comfortableness. Comfortableness. I'm making up a lot of words tonight. Uh, the way we're talking is not the normal, comfortable way that we'd usually talk. So once we get comfortable doing podcasts and all that stuff, it's gonna be a little bit different, a lot more different,
Yeah,
and we'd be
I
using
just
better words.
I'll have my dictionary ready, but I just feel like yes, you're right. There has to be some.
Yeah,
We have to
and,
be more comfortable with it. A lot more loose. I mean, based on
and like
nights
I
that we
said, I want
play.
to do.
There's nights that we play versus nights that we stream is two different people.
Yeah, and streaming. I'm doing you. I want to do YouTube videos. I want to stream, and I want to do the podcast, which is a lot of work that I'm putting on the plate. I'm putting a lot of shit on the plate, and it's not that I can't handle it. I enjoy it, and I know I can handle it, but the laziness and the procrastination is great. And again, episode 2 for this podcast is a great push towards the new year for 2023.
Yeah, I feel like the podcast should be at least a bi-weekly. Should be even if it means that we record multiple times a week, even if it was a back-to-back day, and then you could post it later on. I mean, we could pre-record these prior. I mean, it's doable.
Yeah, I want
It
to.
definitely
I
is
want to do
doable.
more. And again, it's not easy doing the podcast because I got to do a lot. I'm having to do a lot of research to make sure that we have some content to it, not just random jibber jabbing.
Well, that's just based on popular events and
And like I said,
more current
that
events.
it helps that you're going to be living over there. So whenever you come, either you come over or I come over, create the pod. We can take a day, talk for 1 to 2 hours. That's a podcast and done.
Well, I mean, we also have the ability to, like I said, I'm going to remote into the podcast and be a part of it via Arizona. Because I'm not sure how often I will fly back. I'm sure Jess is going to be flying back quite a bit, but I just don't see with the dogs. I mean, only one of us can go back, right?
I know I didn't think about the dogs.
Yeah. But there's so many
Well, I mean,
things.
you
I
can-
am
I'm pretty
excited.
sure you can find like dog hotels.
Yeah, well, I am excited for y'all to come down. Like I said, I am 5 hours from Vegas. I am 30 minutes from a casino. I'm planning on getting a side by side out in the desert, off roading.
Me and Carter, we talked about it. I'm gonna get married this year. I'm gonna get engaged this year.
Congrats to y'all.
Not with Carter. I'm just saying in general. I'm gonna find everything. This year is the year. Like,
This
Well-
is Carter in the back.
Oh, no.
We're not getting married. He's just marrying a random woman.
just
That's all it is.
we're gonna marry. I'm gonna marry not a random woman, because then that sounds worse. No, this year I say it's gonna be a great year, since we've had like the most difficult 3 years.
Yeah.
When did COVID start?
2020.
2020. We're in 2023, so it's been a difficult 2 years.
Yes.
But I feel comfortable that this year I'm gonna be pushing towards all the things that I want to do: YouTube, podcast, streaming, and everything else in between.
I'm gonna focus on traveling and having fun
Same here.
and shooting guns. 100% shooting guns.
Same here.
So
Well, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the stream. The stream. I'm putting my Twitch stream sign off. I gotta practice my sign off on the podcast. But thanks for watching, everybody, or listening to the podcast. We'll work on the next podcast. I forget how to do the sign off.
I did want to mention that the last podcast that I wasn't on is now on YouTube. So please check out Geek Collective on YouTube. For if you'd like to see the podcast, we do have cameras. We do film it. So it's not like you're watching a blank screen. You can watch the full podcast on YouTube.
Thank you, Dalton, for taking over.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Also use coupon code Midnight Game on any checkout for actually Midnight01 on any checkout for a dubby. It's amazing. It's very good.
Right now he's drinking Dragonade, which is a dragon fruit and pink strawberry lemonade. It actually sounds pretty good.
It is very fucking good. So, with that said, thanks for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. See ya.
Bye, world.
I can cut all this shit out.
My name's Jan.
All right, where's my fucking manager?
I'm right in the back. Right in the back camera.
Where's my trailer?
Bitch, you ain't got no trailer. You haven't even paid me yet.